I know y'all remember Timothy Loehmann, the officer that killed Tamir Rice in 2014. He was sworn in as an officer in Tioga, Pennsylvania. I know exactly where that is. I was born and raised over in Pennsylvania, and I know where Tioga is. Ladies and gentlemen, he was sworn in, and 2 days later, he resigned. You know, one thing in my lifetime, I know once you do something to a child, that stigma will stay with you forever, especially if it goes public. Forget it. He's always going to be associated with Tamir Rice, who was 12 years old when he gunned him down. So, officer who killed Tamir Rice resigns 2 days into new job as a police officer. Former Cleveland officer who fatally shot 12-year-old Tamir Rice in 2014 resigned Thursday as the lone police officer in a small Pennsylvania town 2 days after he was sworn in. It sparked backlash from residents and the mayor. Timothy Loehmann withdrew his application to be a Tioga, Pennsylvania officer Thursday morning, according to the town's website. The mayor called for three borough council members to resign over their roles in the hiring. Loehmann was sworn in on Tuesday. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, you're going to pay a price for that. The newspaper and other local media were told the town was hiring an officer by the name of Timothy Lockman. Oh my goodness. So they lied about his last name, but hey, they at the end of the day they figured it out, you know. Mm-mm-mm. Timothy Lockman, huh? The council president Steve Hazlitt clarified on Facebook Wednesday that the officer hired to represent the borough of about 700 people was Loehmann, who was fired from the Cleveland Police Department in 2017 for lying on his job application, but faced no criminal charges connected to Rice's death. Rice was carrying a pellet gun in a playground when Loehmann fatally shot him, and he shot him like 2 seconds after he showed up. And that was in November 2014, spurring nationwide protest over law enforcement use of deadly force against Black people. Loehmann is your new Tioga police officer, Hazlitt wrote. The hiring sparked protest and anger, including from Samaria Rice, that's Tamir's mother, who told the Washington Post on Thursday morning before Loehmann's resignation that the decision was a big mistake. He shouldn't be a police officer anywhere in the United States, she said, adding that she was enraged that and concerned that the Tioga community even hired him. I'm actually shocked that anyone would give him a job knowing what he has done to my family. Mm-mm-mm. So, Samaria's attorney, her family attorney, and they made a statement uh, saying they would be investigating the circumstances of Loehmann's hiring, beginning with filing a public record request. The borough officials must be held accountable for, this atrocity and poor judgment. Tioga Borough Mayor David Wilcox said he was not made aware of Loehmann's background when the members of the borough council found an officer and agreed to hire him. Uh, Wilcox, who is the mayor, told the Cleveland Plain Dealer he was not given a chance to review Loehmann's resume and that the Rice case never came up at any point during the hiring process. The details surrounding the review process for Loehmann remains unclear. I was under the impression that there was a thorough background check into him, that he didn't have any issues, Wilcox told the outlet. I found it strange that someone would move here all the way from Cleveland, Ohio for $18 an hour. Yeah, that is strange. But I heard that he wanted to get away from it all and come here to hunt and fish. Following Loehmann's resignation Thursday, Wilcox on Facebook called for three members of the borough council, including Hazlitt, to step down in a special meeting to be held next week. Neither Hazlitt nor a representative with Tioga's police department immediately responded to the request for comment early Thursday. Hazlitt told the Cleveland Plain Dealer that we advertise on Indeed, the job search website, in response to questions about how the search committee found Loehmann. The news of hiring was first reported by Garnett Carr, a freelance journalist for the Sun Gazette. Loehmann's hiring comes days after the fatal shooting in Ohio that left the state reeling. And they're talking about Jalen Walker's murder. Okay, and we know what happened with that. Loehmann's hiring in Tioga, more than 300 miles east of Cleveland, and only a few miles from New York. Um, they're talking about the state. If you went through that way from Pennsylvania, you would end up, outside of the city. You wouldn't be in New York City. All right. Is the latest example of a police officer getting rehired after being fired elsewhere. A 2017 Post report found that although the nation's largest police departments have fired at least 1,881 officers for misconduct, that betrayed the public trust during a period of more than a decade. And they were forced to reinstate more than 450 officers after appeals required by union contracts. On November 22nd, 2014, Loehmann shot Rice from a passenger seat of a patrol car within seconds of arriving at the park where the 12-year-old was playing with a pellet gun, which officials have said, they don't know why he was so quick to draw his gun and shoot. He really should have tried to find out what was going on. I mean, it was a child. So, and they said you could easily distinguish what Tamir was holding compared to a real gun. There were differences on the gun. So, Loehmann was ultimately fired by the department for not disclosing on his job application that he had left his previous position in Independence, Ohio, due to an inability to emotionally function as an officer. The city of Cleveland agreed to pay Rice's relative $6 million as part of a civil settlement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, he really should be barred from being a police anywhere, especially if he can't emotionally handle it. Then, some people are just not cut out to do anything. And he's not cut out to be an officer. And plus, after killing a child, nah. I don't think anybody would feel safe with him being a police officer in their town. And you see the residents of the town and the mayor rose up against Timothy Loehmann being hired. So it was messy from the start. And those council members that tried to call him Timothy Lockman, they should all be dismissed from their positions. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.